Today's topic is real or ritualized aggression. And this is actually a prevalent behavior in the dog world, but most folks don't recognize or understand what it is they're actually looking at. Well, ritualized aggression is easy to identify for three reasons. One, it's usually very loud. It sounds like the dogs are literally killing each other, and that's what sounds the alarm bells for the humans, gets us humans in a high emotional state, panicky state, a sign of ritual battle. Really loud, scary sounding. You can sometimes break that with an escalation of your tone or voice, or even by saying, hey, I'm leaving, and turn around and walk, and the dogs will stop themselves. In a real battle, that ain't gonna happen. The dogs are gonna stay physically engaged. Another indicator of a ritualized battle is when two dogs are engaged like bears, and they're standing on their back legs, engaged. Now that looks really intense, and it sounds really intense, but know this. Dogs, when they're standing on their back legs, cannot leverage. Therefore, they cannot inflict a great amount of damage to the other animal. And both dogs know this. So even though the look is there and the sound is there, these little cues of, okay, they're on their back legs, which means they don't really intend to injure one another, because it boils down to intent, the difference. And you can say, hey, let's go, Fido, or escalate your voice, and they can stop themselves. And the third thing that's very clear about a ritualized battle is this. When you get them separated, there's nobody injured. There's no deep punctures, there's no injured dogs. The dogs don't continue to go at it. It's pretty easy to separate. And those are indicators that your dogs just had a squabble, maybe an intense squabble, ritualized aggression. If these two dogs, they get into a ritualized battle and it is not stopped by a human or themselves, in fact, it can escalate into a real battle. So that's why it's, if you see it, you hear it, you do want to step in, hey, let's knock that off, immediately lower that intensity and get the dogs moving. A real battle is, the intent's totally different. The dogs actually intend to do harm to one another. They are not going to be up on their back legs. They're going to be down on all fours. And that's because they can leverage themselves and leverage their weight to inflict the most harm. It could start off loud, but then it gets generally quiet because the dogs are locked onto one another and they're tugging and shaking and they're intending to inflict damage. You're not going to break that up with some vocalization. It's going to take you to physically step in and break them apart, whether you're using heavy blankets or other tools that are available to you. There's going to be some injuries. And a lot of times one or both of these dogs aren't going to let it go. They're going to want to continue to get after one another. That's the difference between ritualized aggression and real aggression.